Here's a sample of the discussion that took place on Monday as members of the Winston-Salem City Council's Finance Committee talked about setting aside $1 million to help people who were affected by the fertilizer plant fire on January 31st.
As we all know, for the past couple of weeks or so, we had an emergency situation in our city. I think it's incumbent upon government to help its citizens in a time of crisis. We will use it as a benchmark, right, wrong, and different, as to how we respond in time of crisis, emergency crisis in our community.
People living paycheck to paycheck don't have an extra couple $100 to go stay in a hotel, motel. I would like us to vigorously work with Raleigh to see if we can't get to get some of this $1 million back up to, whatever we spend.
I like for us to think in terms of actually having an emergency relief fund that we have standing in our budget for these kinds of situations so that we could be more reactive more immediately.
My concern with it is that everyone in this city is treated fairly. This could be a tremendous precedent-setting item. For example, most of the people who went with who did not work for 3 or 4 days do not live in this area. There are probably over 1,000 people that worked in those businesses. I would expect a policy that would reimburse anyone who is affected by this, regardless of where they live.
When I heard low wages and compensating people who do not live in that area, that gave me reason for pause. So I'm hearing that that's not the case. Is that right? We would not be paying lost wages for anyone who doesn't live in the radius of the accident.
There is the possibility, as long as they're low to moderate income, if they fit that category, if council wants to provide assistance to them because they worked in a business that had to close down during that time period, that is a possibility. But they still have to be city residents.
We'll have to see how this debate plays out Monday night. I'm Wesley Young with the Winston-Salem Journal.